With the arrival of Bluey's 4th season, fans are filled with excitement about what's coming next, especially when it comes to new characters. But just imagine if not only Bluey's own pups showed up, but also the puppies of her friends, Roxy. This character is definitely going to make an appearance in the next season. After all, Bluey's daughter, the famous Roxy, popped up unexpectedly in the last episode of Season 3, leaving everyone freaking out with curiosity. Is it a girl? A boy? A mini flying puppy? Nope. The show's creator himself confirmed, it's a girl, and we're calling her Roxy. Now the question that's keeping fans up at night is, who's the dad? Was it Jean-Luc or Mackenzie? That's still a total mystery. In the episode Creek, it was pretty clear that Mackenzie has a little crush on Bluey, and with the 4th season promising to show the characters all grown up, it's very possible we'll get to see the first chapters of this canine crush turning into something more. But some fans still believe that Jean-Luc could be the father, the little pup who only appeared once in the series, but totally won the hearts of everyone who ships this couple. Just imagine Jean-Luc showing up in Season 4. That would make the question of who Roxy's dad is even more complicated since she has traits that could match both dogs. So get your heart and your popcorn ready, because there's romance, mystery, and cuteness on the way. The next season will bring lots of new things and surprises, not just with the characters we already know, but also with the new generation. And speaking of new things, nothing grabs more attention than the future of these little pups. Come along with us now for another video. Indigo. And since we're talking about the kids of the characters, have you thought about another couple that totally lives in fans' hearts? Yep, we're talking about Indy and Rusty. They've always been super close, and in the episode The Premature Baby, they even start talking about having a baby, which of course causes a huge mess. It all started when the kids were playing. Bluey, Indy, Chloe, and Honey were playing hospital, and Indy ended up having a premature baby who had to stay under observation in the hospital. Meanwhile, Snickers, Coco, and Rusty were playing a kingdom game, and Rusty went off on an adventure to save the king's daughter who had been taken by a dragon, and he ended up getting hurt. But during the game, he accidentally swapped the princess for Indy's baby, and then everything turned into total chaos. After a long talk with their teacher Calypso, everything got sorted out, but the kids decided to keep playing Kingdom. At that moment, Indy looked at Rusty and asked if they could play Mom and Dad, and he immediately said yes. She noticed his bravery, and that sparked some admiration. Later, their different views about family caused even more arguments. Indy comes from a home where her dad takes care of the house and her mom works outside. Rusty's situation is the opposite. His mom stays at home, and his dad is in the military. The result? Total debate for sure. But it was also a super important moment that raises the question. In the future, will these two be able to align their hearts and build something together? A lot of fans are already betting yes, and they've even picked out a name for the baby, Indigo. Cute, right? Now we just have to hope that this next season brings more than just flashbacks, maybe even a super adorable flash forward. Poppy. Bingo has always had such a motherly vibe. In the episode Surprise, she practically spends the whole day playing caretaker to babies. You can totally see that her maternal instinct is already more obvious than a plant in the rain. And when she grows up, it'll probably only get stronger. But here's the big question. Who will be our dear Bingo's partner? Lots of fans are betting on Dougie, the deaf character from the episode Turtle Boy. They would make such an amazing couple. The curious detail, they haven't even met yet. So yeah, we're already dreaming about an episode that tells the story from the moment they meet, all the way to their romance blossoming, complete with a doggy wedding and puppies in the end. And there's one thing no one doubts. The name of Bingo's baby will be Poppy. After all, every time she gets the chance to name a baby, guess what? She goes with Poppy! It seems like that name is already reserved in her heart, and probably in the script too. Before we keep going with the other 9 characters that are expected to show up at the start of Season 4, drop a comment below. Puppies! Sunny, a couple you might never have considered, but that some fans are already seriously shipping, is Coco and Winston. That's right. They've got something in common that a lot of famous couples don't, an emotional roller coaster. In the episode Wild Girls, we saw Coco burst into tears because Indy didn't want to play exactly the way she wanted. Who hasn't been there, right? Winton, on the other hand, is the friend who's always there, ready to offer emotional support on a total child therapist level. He's always comforting someone, offering a furry shoulder, and that look of, it's okay, this'll pass. Would they be the perfect couple? Maybe. Total balance. She brings the emotion, he brings the understanding. Now, the big question is, what about the puppies? Would they turn out pink like Coco? Or maybe a mix of pink and brown, like a strawberry chocolate milkshake? One thing's for sure, if this couple happens, the cuteness level will totally blow up the show's thermometer. Nico. Another couple that could totally shine in the future is Layla and Buddy. Layla, Bingo's best friend, already has that vibe of a future devoted mom. She loves taking care of Bingo like she's a little sister, or even a daughter depending on the day. You can totally tell her heart is all about caring. And Buddy? Well, he might seem a little spaced out sometimes. Okay, almost all the time, but he's got this chill, calm, and super sweet vibe that totally matches Lila's tenderness. He'd be the ideal partner to balance out her emotional side with some peace and lots of snacks. Just imagine these two as parents. Their baby would probably be the most well-fed kid in the neighborhood, and the most spoiled one at the playground, Maxie. Another one of Bluey's friends who, without a doubt, is gonna have a whole litter of puppies is Chloe. She's super sweet, caring, and always shows that responsible side, totally perfect for a first-time mom, and a second, third, maybe even a fifth time. And tons of fans already have the perfect match for her. Jack. Can you imagine this duo? He's full of energy, courage, and that little dash of impulsiveness. She's calm, smart, and always ready to help. They'd be the perfect balance, kind of like coffee and milk, only, the dog version. Now picture the puppies from this pairing. Half focused, half hyper, all of them absolutely adorable. If the show gives us a glimpse of that in the future, it's gonna be impossible not to want to adopt one just by looking. And now's the perfect time, if you haven't already, to subscribe to the channel. That way you won't miss any updates from us. Ziggy. Judo, Bluey's neighbor, might totally surprise everyone in the future, especially if she ends up in a romance with another very well-known neighbor, Lucky. That's right, their parents are always chatting over the fence, swapping doggy gossip and sharing ideas, so it wouldn't be strange at all if that gateside friendship turned into love between the kids. Even though we don't really see the two of them playing together much at the start of the series, that closeness matters. And let's be honest, a tight-knit neighborhood makes for a totally smitten couple. Now just imagine these two growing up, getting to know each other better, and suddenly, love is in the air. Or, more accurately, in the backyard. Judo comes from a small family, so maybe she'll grow up wanting to have a big one, like a whole soccer team of puppies. Can you picture that? A house full of mini Judos and mini Luckies running around the yard? Would it be total chaos? Yep, but the cutest kind of chaos. Toby. Muffin, with her intense, unpredictable, totally out-of-the-box personality, always steals the spotlight, and sometimes the adults' patience too. She's always heading over to her cousin's house to play and stir up a little chaos, so it's pretty likely that on one of these visits, she'll end up meeting Chucky. Who's Chucky? Pat's son, who lives nearby and loves playing with Bluey and Bingo. Now imagine him meeting Muffin. Chaos meets calm, or a tornado meets a breeze. Either way, it would be an explosive combo. Maybe, in the middle of all that running around, mess, and imagination, a friendship would blossom that could turn into something more in the future. Muffin and Chucky, a couple that would probably destroy half the house while playing, but rebuild it all with toy blocks and lots of love. If their puppies take after Muffin, the whole neighborhood is doomed. Benny. Honey has always been the little rule follower of the group. Polite, smart, and with a total love for rules and organization. So it would be no surprise at all if, in the future, she ends up at university, all excited with her color-coded notebooks and flawless schedules. And that's probably where she'll meet someone new. A totally new character, maybe an exchange student, a charming nerd, or even a slightly clumsy but super endearing teaching assistant. Someone who would shake up Honey's super organized life just enough and show her that sometimes it's fun to go off script. They could bond over something simple, a group project, a shared passion for ancient history, or maybe they're the only two who showed up 30 minutes early for class. From there, romance is in the air. And of course, like every great college love story, there'll be coffee, rain, the library, and maybe even a cute love confession scene in the lab. Honey totally deserves a partner as sweet as she is, or at least someone who knows their way around a spreadsheet. She'll definitely pass on her love for Harry Potter to her kids. That's good taste, right? After all, she's got some pretty important pieces of wizard merch in her room. Who knows? Maybe instead of regular bedtime stories, she'll read the whole Harry Potter saga to her pups, and she'll probably want more than one since she comes from a small family. At the end of the day, the magic of the show is all about this blend of friendship, family, and those little hints of romance that we only discover with time. Watching these characters grow up, get to know each other better, and maybe even start their own families makes the story even more heartwarming and full of excitement. If you love the world of Bluey and animated shows, we've got 2 super cool videos you're gonna love watching. Thanks for hanging out with us, and see you next time!